The session on reporting and data management will be presented by Yannick Genot, who is our global account manager based in Belgium. It will last more or less about 35 minutes and will, as mentioned, take a Q&A at the end of the session for a few minutes. So I propose to leave the floor to Yannick. He will introduce you with the key objective of the session and then demonstrate what can be done in terms of reporting and data management with our EventWorks tool. Thanks, everyone. Enjoy the presentation and don't forget to write your question in the chat box. Yannick, the floor is yours.
Hi, hello everyone, good morning or good afternoon. Thank you for the introduction, Ameline. Let me try to share my screen. Can you just confirm that you can see my screen?
Oui, c'est tout bon.
Yeah,
all good,
okay.
Yannick.
Okay, this session will help you to understand how the data are collected in EventWorks and how you can use the system to make your life easier as an event manager. The example I will cover are sometimes small details, it's true, but I mean, trust me, in the end, this detail will make the difference on your workload. And to make the most out of these functionalities, it's important that you know your process very well and that you know what information you are looking for in the system. And just before I start, just to let you know that the system has a lot more functionalities than the one I will cover with you today. And I'm conscious about time, so therefore we'll only cover a few. So let's get straight into it. For the objective of the sessions, I will show you how the system EventWorks is collecting data from external sources. I will try to help you to understand the different statuses, can be the statuses for participant or for the registration. I will show you how you can use the live filter, which is a very strong option, a very strong functionalities. The option edit on off, the button edit on off on your report or in the back office, and the global replace option. I will show you as well the functionalities that you have in the group action button. And I will show you how you can use the reports in a more efficient way, or you can make it work well for you. And I will show you what is the change tracking and how you can see what has been changed in the system. So let's start with the first, just do this. So for the first point, how the data are collected in EventWorks, this is the page you have when you first connect to the back office page as the conference manager. When you click on your link to access the back office, you just end up on this page. On this page, you have all the participants with a few information like the registration group, the email country, registration status, and approval status. And to have the participant displayed on this screen, you have different possibilities for the data to be collected. The first possibility, which is the more common one, is to use the same way you did to register for the webinars today. You had to go through a web page, a registration page, which is this page. So basically, you send a public link.
1 minute.
Yeah,
maybe
sorry, yeah.
If you can put your screen slightly bigger, please.
Sorry.
Thank you.
I forgot that I have a big screen at home. Is that okay?
Yeah, perfect.
Is it better? Okay, sorry for that. So I was mentioning the fact that the first source of collecting the data is through the registration page. You have a link here. You can see the mouse, and the public link is what you will put into your website, or can be in an email, in an invitation. And when the participant just click on it, they end up on this page. And for the participant to end up on the back office, they need to go through the registration and through the last confirmation tab and click on confirm. In this case, you don't see the confirm button because I'm already in the system, so I can only cancel my registration. But just as the first way, the first way to collect the data in EventWorks is just by the registration form. The second input would be a manual input. You have here on the left side the Create Participant button. If you click on it, you can just create a participant, and then you have different fields, different information that you can put in. This is totally customizable, so you can put any fields. You can create new fields, same as Tim mentioned in the introduction, and you can put all these fields in the form. And then you have this back office thing. You can choose the group. These groups are linked to the group you have created in the back office, so you will only see the groups that you have created, obviously. In this case, we have 3 different groups. Registration status, you can decide the status they have. I will explain what are the status, and same for the approval status. But in this case, you can just enter the data, and then you have it in the system. This is the second way of doing it. Let me go back to the participant list. Another way to collect the data is by importing a participant. So you have a button here. You can import participant. If you click on the import button, you have this option. The first option, operation, you have create new participants, or you can update matching participant. The first option, which is just create a new record. If the participant is not yet in the system, you just create new participants, and then you select the group. Let's say you select volunteer, registered, because in this case, in most cases, when you add new participants, because you do it yourself, you're going to put registered. I will explain it to you in a few minutes why. Approval status, I will put pending, because maybe there is a second step of approval. And then you just do like a drag and drop. I have this file somewhere here. Yep. I will use this, and you drag and drop your Excel file. It says, OK, it's 100% completed. You go to next step. And then here you have this is what it is on my Excel file. If it looks like this. This is the Excel file I just imported. I mean, not imported, but put in the system to be imported. You have this is the first tab with all the fields, and then the information of the participants. So it looks like this, and all the first fields on the first tab are here. What you have to do, you have to match the fields from the Excel file from the system. And if you use the first name, you're looking for the system in first name, and then you just drag and drop, and it's matching. In this case, I already did a template because we have a few fields to complete. So I created a template. So something you need to know as well. You can create any templates. In this case, I click on it, and then you see it's already all completed and matching with the system. So in this case, already all good. I click on next step. And on next step, the system is doing its magic. And then when everything is in gray like this, and it means it's validated, it means you can import all the participants. It will be fine in the system. If you have errors, you have a button here. You can show errors only. In this case, there is no errors. You can see the errors in red usually when you have errors. And then I can import. I click on import, and the system will import. You have the number of participants you want to import, which is 39 in this case. And here you have the persons successfully added are 39. So now that it's done, we'll go back through the menu into back office participant to have the participant list. And now the number is 117. We have, the participant has been added. You can check on the registration date, and all these people that are just added are registered on today's date. So all these people with the registration date 8 have been registered today. So this is how you can import a simple participant, but you have also the option to import by creating updating participants. And in this case, you can update participants. You do the same as I did. You just drag and drop your file, which is another file. I will just show you quickly, which is an update here. You do the same, and I will just show you how you have to do. You do the same. You match all the fields, and when you update, it's important here because this wasn't displayed before. you need to tell to the system, okay, we have a few fields from the participant that are correct, and based on these fields, you need to update the other ones. I will take an example. The first name and last name, I'm pretty sure about it that there's maybe only one possibility, first name, last name, but I will add probably company. That way, I'm sure that the system will find from the first name, last name, and company the right person. And then in green, it's all the fields that will be updated by the system. And then you just click next step and import, and it will do exactly the same as we did before. It will only change the field you want to change. So in this case, the greens. That was for the custom import. Just to let you know, I know that our team mentioned it before, but we have an API available. So yeah, for the people who are not at the introduction session. So we have an API that can be used. So now let's go back again to the participants. I will leave because I don't want to save anything. And then let's talk about the different statuses. So you have here the registration status and the approval status. The registration status, you have different possibilities. If I try to show you the different possibilities, if I click here, you have a value list, and you have added, invited, incomplete, registered, and decline. So these different registration status are linked to the registration. Added usually means when a participant just clicked on the link, but hasn't done anything with just wanted to have information, but did not enter any data. So it will be added as the first one without any information. This is just added. Invited is linked to the partner module. I will not go into details about this statue because it's linked to the partner module, and basically it's just an invitation that you send to some people, and when you send it, they will be invited as a registration statue in the system. Incomplete is when a participant just start the registration on the web page, but do not complete it, which means do not click on confirm. Here I will try maybe to show you. I have someone, you have an incomplete here, this person. I will try to log in as attendee. So you know, Camille then is not incomplete at the moment, and I will try to log in. Maybe I will just change the approval status to make sure that it doesn't make any problem. Okay, login as attendee, let's go. So in this case, I go to the confirmation tab, the last tab. And here, as you can see, I have the confirmation option. In this case, I did complete everything. I just did not confirm on the last page. Now I will click on confirm. I click on it. It says, okay, you have sent your registration on the 8th of April. If I go back to the participant list, now I'll just do a refresh. And as you can see, the status has changed. It's now registered. So this was for the incomplete. If we continue, we have the registered. So the registered, as you saw, is when the participant go through the complete process and click on confirmation on the last tab. Decline is when a participant just decline a participation. When it can be when you send an email to a participant and then it just decline the participation, or afterwards he cannot make it, so you say, okay, I will decline because I cannot make it. This was for the registration status. Now if we go to the approval status, we have three different options: pending, approved, and rejected. Pending is by default the status you will see when you access the back office, because by default, all the registered participants will be pending. And it's good to have it that way, because that way you can have, in most cases, you have a second step of approval by another person. So you want to keep this clean as pending, and then you will give one of your colleagues, for example, can approve the participant. In this case, they just click on approve, and reject it the same way. If you don't want this person for this conference. Maybe it's, let's say it's a media, and you don't want to have media for this conference, so you just reject the participation. And all these status can be linked to an email. So an email can be sent depending on what you put as the approval status. So this was for the statuses. If we go here to the live filter on the top right, this is very strong, very useful for you. And to be honest, on my side, I only use the live filter when I'm looking for information in the back office, because it's very simple. You only have to type the first 3 letters. Let's say I'm looking for myself, which is Yannick. I will type YAN, and the system will find all the participants who have YAN in the name or first name or in any field. But in this case, I'm looking for myself specifically. So I type a bit longer, like Yannick, and then I have it here. And you can search, it can be by first name, but I could say, let's say if we have Wiz, to have Wiz team, you see, I only type the first 3 letters, and I have the people with the Wiz in one of the fields, which is a Wiz team for the company here. That's strong. And if you use it, let's say we want to look for Nita and myself. So Nita, the person here. What just goes with the live filter? You could say, for example, let's go and look for Nita. So the system found it, but let's say that you need to find more participants on the same search. So what you will do, you will put a comma, then space, and then you type the other person, which in my case it's Yannick. And then you have, sorry, ICK, okay. And then you have the result with the 2 person, and you can extend that to other, I mean, you can add more possibilities. So this is very strong. You can obviously use the find option here, but it's faster to use the live filter. And because you can search any field in the database, you can basically find anything from the database with a live filter. So I will encourage you to use this live filter all the time. That is for the live filter functionality. And on this page, we also have this button, which is button edit off. You saw I was playing a little bit with it. So with this button, what you can do, you can single edit, edit 1 participant at a time, or you can do a multiple edit. In this case, let's do 1 edit. For Matilda, I click edit on. You see when it's on and red, it means it's on. In this case, I realized that this person registered as a delegate, but I know that this person is not in this group. So I say, okay, I'm going to change this person. I'm going to put as a media. So I just select it and I click save. The system does it in half a second, and then you have it here. And you can do it for all the fields. You could do it here and select anything. And this is for a single edit, but you can also do it for multiple edits. You could say, okay, this, and you have at all time the number of people you selected here. You see, you have 8 people selected here. And I want to do the same. In this case, I want to change the group for all these participants. And I say, you have this small message that tell you, okay, you are editing 8 records, so be careful with that. And then I say, okay, these people are volunteers. I will change it and I will save it. So now, you see the system, it doesn't take very long. It's just half a second and the changes are made. So this is for the single and multiple edits. But there's also another option to edit participant information, which is with using the group action button. When you click on it, you see that there is a group action appearing. If you don't select anyone, you don't have this button. When you click on it, you have it here. And what the group action does, if you click on it, you have different options. You have sent emails. These are linked to the emails you have created in the back office. You can send email directly from here by selecting the participant and just group action, send email. You can send SMS, push emails. You can create badges. You can add remove session. This is linked to the sessions module. You can manage hotel rooms, linked to the accommodation module. Create document, linked to the document module. You have the global replace, approve registration, reject registration, or delete registration. It's good to know that to approve a registration, you can just click here and approve it. Let's say that Matilda volunteers, I want to approve her participation. I click approve registration, and then okay, it's reloading, and now Matilda, as you can see, has been approved here. So the group action is very useful to use when you have it here. And one good option to use, I was talking about editing multiple participants. You can use the global replace button. The global replace button, I would say it's good to use it when you have to edit more than, I don't know, 25, 30, 40 participants. Because in this case, if you want to edit a few participants, it's still okay. You can just tick the box like this, it's fine. But let's say you want to edit 200 participants. You can use the global replace. You select them all here, for example. You say group action. You do like a global replace. You click on it, and then here it is displayed the field you want to update for the participants. I could say, I mean, it could be the company. All these participants will be from the same company. So I will change the company for the complete list of the participants. And I can choose to use a custom value or a value from another field. In this case, I could put anything. I don't know, like a cool company that way. And then you can click on update all. And then you will see all the changes. I will not do it now. But basically, all the changes will be displayed here and will change for all the reports. This is how you can use the group action. So it's good to use it when you have to edit more than 30 registration, I would say. That was for the global replace. Now, an interesting part is the reports. You're going to go to the reports. The reports are reports. I would say you can create reports for almost anything. It's good to have a lot of different reports depending on what the information you are looking for in the system. If you only have one report with all the information, sometimes it's good for a certain person, but it's better to use the report and to have different and multiple reports. In this case, I created a different report. You can create different folders. You can have report linked to the security in this case. You can have report links to the participant status. I could have a report named like accommodation or hotel. And then on this folder, you create different reports. If we take the example of the first report here, if I click on it, approved participants, this is a report I created to have only the approved participants. So you have the statuses which is registered, and then the approval status, which is approved. And this is a way of sorting the participant and to have only the information you need. Because I wanted to only have the approved participants. Oh, sorry, I didn't show you what I did. I just clicked on edit the report here. So this is the report you have, but to have it like this, or to have it displayed like this, you need to click on edit here. And then you can name the report. So you give the name you want. The folder, in this case, as you saw, I only have 2 different folders, but you could have 10, 15, 100 different folders. It's totally up to you. You have different options. And what one good thing is you can also share the reports and have access to the reports. But in this case, I will show you how we end up with only the approved participants. You have here, it's the default filter. So you can just create a report and set a default filter. In this case, to only have the approved participant, the default filter is the registration approved status equal approved. So in this case, the system will only display the approved participants. And at the bottom here, you have all the fields that you want to be displayed on the screen. So in this case, it was only these few fields. And these are the fields you can find that you have here. So registration status, approval status, first name, last name, company. Sorry, I can hear some noise in the background. It's a bit difficult. Is someone not muting his mic? Okay, well, I'll try to continue. Never mind. Thank you. So I was this one, and you can also share the report. I will show you here. So you can expand whole. You have all the report, the different folders. For the security, why I created a different report for the security. Let's say that you're organizing an event, and then the security from your organization needs to do like a screenshot. What they want is to have only the approved participant, because for them it doesn't make sense to have the pending or the declined participant. So you create the same report I created before with the same filter with only the approved participant. And then what you can do, you can just send it to Excel. You have this report, and the security is asking for it. You can just click on, okay, send to Excel. Then the system is doing its magic, is downloading, and then you have it like this, the same way. And then you have, yeah, it's created by me, and you have the different information that you created for the reports. It's a good way to export the data. What you can do as well is you can share the report. I will try to do it live in the chat. Okay, let me try to copy the link here and to use here the chat. What I will ask you to do is maybe to try the link. I will give you in a minute just the password, which is the password here. And you will see what you have when you share the report with somebody else. So this is the link, and this is the password. So you can just take 1 minute to click on the link and to put the password, and then you will have the different option. When you click on it, I will do it for you. Yeah, this has expired. Oh yeah, I need to put the dates. Sorry. Like this, and save. It was expiring today, so now it should be working. So yes, you have this this window, and then you can select show changes. Since you can select the date. If you're looking this on a weekly basis, you can select the week you want to check the changes from this week, for example. You enter the password I just sent to you by on the chat. You can decide to export it in Excel or CSV file. And before you download the report, you have to accept, tick the box here. That way you can just share the reports. You have also specific report linked to a special report here linked to accommodation. In this case, it's not they are not set for the demo because we won't talk about accommodation and hotels. But for example, you could have like a screen with all the rooms that you have, and the room rates and the location, and you could really use it in an efficient way. So all the reports are good to use for anything. Just create a report for the information you're looking for. If you're looking for only for the registered participant, you can do it. If you're looking for the participant list, in this case, I will show you another way of filtering the data. In this case, it's showing 116 out of 116, so the complete list of attendee. But for now, it's not really sorted. It's just a long list, the same way you had it on the first screen. What I want is to have, let's say that what I want is to have is to know how many people from the same company are attending this conference. So what I will do, I will select group by here. So I will group the participants by something, and the by something here, because what I want is to know how many people from the same company are attending. I'm gonna look for the company field. So which is this field, personal company. You click on it, and then you just save it. When it's saved, you click on go to reports, and then you see it's no different. It's displayed a bit differently. So you have all the companies, And then if you want, okay, this company, medical research, if you click on it, there are 3 attendees from this company. You click and up, you see the three people from this company. This is a way to sort and to find the data, but you can do that with any fields. And as I said, it's really important that you know the information you are looking for, and from that you can create almost anything in the reports to make your life easier, or to share with the colleagues, to share maybe to give access to external companies with a code, and so this is very extensive and customizable. That was for the report. I think we're running out of time. I think I'm just on time. Maybe I will check with Amlyn and Tim if you have a specific question that haven't been answered from no one.
Yeah, Yannick, I think I answered most of the questions, but maybe a few things you could show. One is, could you show the group setting to show how to set a mandatory group, either front office or back office? I think it was one of the questions I responded to, but it's probably easier to show if you go to settings and groups.
These are the groups that you create from the back office.
Yeah, if you click in one group, yeah, perfect.
Yeah. And then you have all the different definition. You can name the group. You can say, okay, this is a default group for front office. In this case, it's yes. So this will be by default the group. The participant will be in when they register. You can say a default for back office. In this case, it could be when you add someone from the back office, it will be by default this group.
Yeah, because as you saw when Yannick added the person back office, it didn't have a group. I don't know if you saw that, because the default group for back office has not been set. But if you say if you choose one group, which is the one that maybe you use the most, you can set that as default back office, which means that when you add a participant manually from the back office, it will directly take the right group. Perfect. Thanks, Yannick. The other question we had is on find changes. So maybe you could go to the global finding of changes into the event, and then do maybe a search and then show how to, because the question was, is there an undo function, which there is not. But basically, if you select on the left-hand side some of the participants, that example which is based on a search you have done on a particular field or a particular change by a user, you can show this list in a participant list, which is one of the buttons on the top, which then allows you to edit that list by doing inline editing or doing edit on off and reversing back the changes you have made. So it's not a proper undo button, but it allows you to do exactly the same as an undo in bulk, but obviously you need to find your selection first. Thank you, Yannick. There were the 2 questions. There was more a general question about CRM and profiles and how that works when you do an upload of an Excel spreadsheet. It's a question maybe we can take offline, but in a few words, basically when the system, if you activate profiles, which is a CRM across event, if you do an upload, you can decide if you do an upload on an event level or only on profile level. From the moment you create them on event level, the system will automatically create a profile. If you do it from the back office, if you do it from the front office, obviously the person will have to need to create a profile first. You can then update from the event back to the profile following the GDPR regulations, which means that from the moment you use a profile field on the front end, there will be a field that will show up automatically, which will say update profile, yes or no. So basically it leaves the choice to the participant to update his profile. This is a GDPR requirement. And we have the same in the back office. So when you do a save in the back office, you can decide if this is a saving only on event level or in the back or going back to profile as well. So there is a link and a relation between profile and an event. Obviously, when you import from profile to an event, which is something you can do as well without doing an Excel import, the system will copy the data. Obviously, if you make changes on your event level and you're not sending that data back to profile, it will stay on event level. So I think that covered all the questions I didn't manage to answer so far, Yannick.
Okay.
We have again a question on API and data transfer. We do have an API that is documented that we can share if that's for interest. We do use JSON REST, as far as I know. That's where my technical knowledge will stop. But yeah, there is an API existing that can be used for data exchange.
Okay, and maybe just to finish, I didn't show you, but for the change, to show the changes in the report when you do a modification, if you do the click edit on off, if I say I do this and I just save it, there's an easy way to see the changes. You can click on here, show changes, and you can define from where you want, from when you want to see the changes, and then you will see that it's changes. It's displaying red what has been changed. In this case, it's what I just changed now, and it was the approved from the participant before. So it's a good way and easy way to see the changes that have been done in the system, as well as the functionality global change tracking here. And that's it on my side. Thank you.
Yeah, and to add on that, when you export that to an Excel, it will also keep the red color. So you will see the changes remaining in red. Yannick, do you have a group by report that you can export to show the numbers on the second tab? Because I think that's quite a little tip and trick as well that people forget.
I've created this group by, and then if we send it to Excel, it's this one. So this is the company with all the participants from the company. And a good thing is if you click on the second sheet here, that says summary, you have a summary of how many participants, how many attendees are from every company. So it's good to have it as well for you to know without going crazy into calculation. You can just have this report ready for you, and then you have the data ready. On my side, I don't know if there are any more questions.
Thank you, Yannick. Yes, please feel free to ask your question in the chat box. It was definitely a bit intense, but I believe very useful to see how our reporting and data management can be done through Eventwork. If there is no other question, I would suggest that we close the session, maybe a couple of more minutes.
Yeah, and based on some of the feedback or questions we got, we'll, as this session has been recorded, we'll see how we can share the recordings to the different participants or even to the wider group, because I think it's quite useful. I think some people as well logged in a bit late, so at least you will have the full overview of the session. So yeah, we make sure we share that in due time. So. And we'll be running more of these sessions, which will be probably a bit more targeted on specific topics, although they were already quite specific, but probably even go a bit more in detail. So yeah, stay tuned. Thank you, Yannick. Thank you, Ameline.
Yeah, thank you everyone for joining.
And we look forward to seeing you in this afternoon or later tonight for the Asian part of the world. We'll start the new session in 2 hours and 20 minutes exactly. And for the one who are not able to join, hope you learn a few things, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. See you guys this afternoon for Swiss time for the ones joining in the afternoon sessions, and stay safe.